Anyway, this is a special edition of Stories That Heal because it's a little more laid back. Clearly, I am in pirate costume, sort of. No, I don't know what I am today. I mean, I literally leave here and go to the pool. I have my swimsuit on and I'm ready to rock and roll. But before I go away to do that, I wanted to take some time with my dear friend Elle. She she has she is a prolific writer on Substack if you've not met or known about her, and she has a restricted wing that I have access to. I'm a subscriber, and I started reading. I have to look. It's Pirates of the Silver Crown. That's for whatever reason she had me at pirates, and her stories are so rich and incredible. And I'm going to read an excerpt with her permission later on here in our chat. But first, hello, welcome. How are you doing? You had some time off after your birthday, so
I'm good. I know. I did take a few days off. I'm going to continue probably to take some days off. I'll have some chapters. I'll be dropping another chapter for the Pirates probably in the next couple days. Maybe one more for the Warden's archive. But for the most part, I haven't been writing. I've been cleaning things out, taking stuff to Goodwill, cleaning the house, taking extra naps, just taking some time off because anybody who's followed the Warden's archive knows that I'm ridiculously active. And I think for months there I treated it like a full-time job, kind of getting my writing out there and building up my following. And the restricted wing came out of that because we had a Discord group that Linda and I are in, and we got a little unhinged in there, and there was a couple writers who already write erotica, specifically monster erotica, which got me into picking up a book and actually reading a book. And it was never my thing, but all of a sudden I got really creative around wanting to write some erotica, and I just kind of that was my first one that I wrote, and now I'm serializing it, and I created a separate, I call it the restricted wing of the Warden's archive, that is specifically for my erotica. So I guess that's what we're talking about today.
Well, we are. I mean, it goes so Elle and I were fighting back and forth, like, no, I'll do the live. No, I'll do the live. No, I was thinking, no, let me do the live. This is really, honestly, it's a way to think differently about smut, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But it's a different way to think about it and it's a healing. Like the smut actually is very healing. I mean, so we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. First of all, before we do any pearl clutching about the word smut, which does sound like slut, and of course in high school I was terrified they would be calling me something like that, even though I didn't probably do anything. Let's rename it erotica or something, which we do. Erotica, enticing fantasy, maybe, because that's what it really is. Because for some, smut has that negative connotation, and I just say, let's take another look at that and how can that really heal. So I was reading her stories in the restricted wing, and I was starting to go, wow, something's changing inside of me just by reading. And it's true, reading erotic fiction can have real psychological and physiological changes, especially during menopause and after menopause, which I'm way past all that, when the hormonal shifts that libido and mood. And as a former therapist, I saw so many people, so many women who came in who said, I just don't feel like being around my husband anymore. I don't have any desire, because a lot of that shuts down. So this is such an important topic. And it was so important that I wanted to bring Elle on to talk more about her, but also the way she constructs her stories is not just, hey, here they're doing stuff. There's a story behind it and in it and intertwined, and she does it so effectively that I just had to bring her on, and we're to talk about this. Let's see. Real quick, I just have a couple bullet points. Hormonal and physiological effects. There's that oxytocin release. They can improve mood and reduce stress. They can counter the anxiety that does come from women going through menopause. And I won't, disclose what you were talking about, Elle, but she was sharing that with me. And that's what, so women are doing that with each other, helping each other through these changes. There's increased blood flow when we are just reading. The mental arousal can increase pelvic blood flow, which supports that female tissue health. And then there's the dopamine and the endorphins. Fantasy and anticipation activate the reward pathways, giving a natural mood lift. And then, of course, there's better sleep. It can improve sleep quality just by reading. You can get, maybe you'll have fantastic dreams, or take care of things by yourself, which is often, so the sleep quality, though, when it comes to hormonal things, is that you can reduce the hot flashes and the hormonal changes too. So it's kind of interesting. So, well, let me just say that again. Disrupted hormonal changes do affect sleep quality, and so this reading these erotic stories are very helpful. So, all right. So enough of me reading things. Sorry, guys. Oh no, I take it back. I'm going to read some more things. I'm going to read an excerpt eventually here, but I do want to ask you, have you comment about basically the psychological and relational benefits that have come to mind for you, such as like women reclaiming desire on their own terms. You want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going back to what you were saying, smut to me is not a bad word. Maybe it did, but I believe like book talk and kind of the whole craze for it now is really taking back the term and normalizing it. Because how do we do that? Like, you come to a certain point in your age where your body's changing, your hormones are changing, you've been married for a while, maybe it's the same person. And there's several ways to do it. There's several ways to, take that back. Mm-hmm. But one simple way to do it is by reading something that's exciting, that has some erotica in there, that mm-hmm. plays into your own fantasies. Because mm-hmm. if you can get that mental stimulation going again, instantly it will arouse you, especially women, because like mentally sometimes we're just bored. And now we can read something that's, dips into our fantasy self.
Yeah.
And the lights come on. So the mind is very powerful.
Yes, I agree. And as you're talking, I was thinking, when women go through menopause, they, of course, relinquish the baby machine, so to speak, or that ability. It's a part of their human anatomy that they no longer have, or they have it, but it doesn't function in the way it used to. So there's a loss there, believe it. I mean, for me, I didn't like that at all. It was like, there were benefits, obviously, but I just somehow I just didn't like that change in my body. So the way it all happened, but it is what it is, and it did what it did. What I want to say is that erotica offers low stakes way to connect with that desire again, because we're no longer procreating, but then there's that desire, and in all the changes that happen, we lose that desire. There is a study, well, not a study, I've read about women who stop having sex because it's painful. And then they actually lose that feeling down there. There's no feeling as much down there. They've shut it down here. So there's an awakening that can occur also with these stories. The other thing is when women are alone and rediscovering their bodies, there's a cognitive rehearsal for intimacy. When they read these wonderful erotic stories, it gives them this, gives them ideas about how they would want to do something, and it reawakens their fantasy. Maybe they'll put themselves in with the pirate and have fun with that, and pretend they're being ravished. And it's just, again, the hormones change and all the things. Any thoughts about that before I keep bullet pointing?
No, it's really good. I mean, it's
there's just so much to talk about. So.
I like that when you said it was low stakes, because oftentimes, like, whenever we're reading a book, we're usually experiencing the book through the protagonist.
Yeah.
And so we can do the same with erotica books, and that is, it's low stake, it's low cost, it's easy access, mm-hmm. but it's also, if you can get creative and get into role playing role playing can really add in your relationship, can add a whole new level. So
Right.
now you can take like what excited you from the book, and next thing you know, you and your husband are playing pirates and giggling like kids again, and having sex like you did the first year you dated. Super fun.
And
Super fun.
it is every woman goes through a private situation when their body changes, and so so reading this erotica lets women explore what turns them on privately, and which can build body confidence when they are with their partner. So I find that fascinating. And then just one more thing, the stress buffering, absorbing fiction of any kind lowers cortisol, and erotica adds arousal, specific relaxation on top of that. So
well, that's good. Lower cortisol. We could always use more of that.
We could. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have some reviews here I'd like to share about your writing.
Okay.
Congratulations, you just made Smut sensual again. Some of the scenes depict assertive coupling, but never assault, which is good, while other intimate moments are as gentle as snowfall. And let's see what else. The stories
are from the comments. Are these from the comments?
The stories are rich with ebbs and flows of emotional states within the characters that touch a part of our soul, inviting us to dig deep into our own connections with our partners. Yeah, no, these are my reviews.
No, I know.
That tells me you read all your comments, because you did not recognize those.
Yeah,
I love it.
Pretty much right now, anything that is erotica is going to be behind a paywall. So these are specific stories that I don't get a lot of comments on, where the ones that I have, I think just the Book of Eden's Pleasures is the only one that you can read through, but it's more of a parody. That one has a ton of comments. Bound and Determined, anybody who's read that one-off stories really liked it. Some people have mentioned that I should make a whole novel out of it. It would make a really good slow burn with erotica in it.
Yeah.
But pirates is something really special. It's really, to me, I wanted kind of a reverse harem. I really don't want, no force. I don't want any shadow daddies or sex without consent. So this is really about creating a goddess who's older. Of course, she's like almost 200 years old, but looks like she's maybe in her 60s. So like that's hot 60s. Oh yeah, she's hot. Yeah, she's very. I mean, she's a goddess, so she's hot. But she has a pain. She has a wound that she hasn't really been chosen. That she's been kind of passed around over the years, as pirates are trying to figure out the riddle behind what she is. Just consider her like a relic. And so not to like give up a lot of the story, but I'll tell a little bit. Like in the riddle, it's the more pleasure she receives, the more I have to pull up the riddle now so I can read some of it.
While you're doing that,
to reach the treasure, one must pleasure. Right. It's just this simple line that has kind of stumped a lot of the pirates for a while. And so this is this group of pirates comes and takes her, and they're just instantly like taken by her. There's basically the four main ones that become her lovers, and there's a whole story that plays out here about what they learn and the wound and all of it. So there is story and there is plot, and there's also probably sex on every page as well. So you get and they're quick chapters as well. I made this specific story to be a little bit easier to get through instead of some of my other stories what are like 30-minute long chapters. I made these ones a little bit quicker to digest, so really, really great for serialization. But
and before I read the excerpt, Lexine says, menopause was a loss of the woman I knew I was. Even books couldn't access an arousal response until I addressed the hormonal changes. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going through it right now, and it really is. There's a lot of grieving of the woman that you used to know that it's things are changing. And I'm sure in my very near future, I'm going to have to address hormone issues as well. And yeah, that's very much a reality.
Yeah, I want to just, as a former nurse, I have a public service announcement. If you are in perimenopause, talk with your doctor about those options. I was not someone who, like, I don't like taking medicine. I don't take any medicine, and I'm fine. But I didn't want to take the hormone stuff. I'm doing a little bit now, but I'm taking something that's very benign, and I waited too long to get what I really want. Wish I could have now. But so what I'm saying is, there's progesterone and estrogen patches, and you can get those pretty soon. But it just depends on your, obviously, medical history. Talk with your doctor. So I don't know. I'm not going to get into your private thing, but
No, not
yeah,
yet.
it's one of those things where
I put it off. I don't like. I just had to deal with ear, nose, throat stuff. Found out I have a deviated septum, which is part of my breathing issue. Mm-hmm. Doctor tells me, 80% of the people come in here, they have that. Only 20% get surgery. The rest of it is dealt. We deal with it with medication. I was like, great. He's going to put me on step therapy. Not a fan. I'm kind of like one thing at a time kind of girl. That's what I mean. I don't like to. I figure I'll put it off till the end of this year. I'm just turned 48. I just had my 48th birthday, so I can't wait too much longer. But
the average age is 51. So
yeah, I can't. I do need to get it. I do need to work on it. I'm struggling to like have energy. Weight loss is impossible. Weight gain's way too easy. So yeah, I need to get on it. It's my own thing about not wanting to deal with doctors here in Vegas. And then which path do I go? Do I go to my regular physician or do I go more holistic? And yeah, well, I'll figure it out. Yeah. I'm not in a rush, but I definitely need to get something this year for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Nadine says, I'll do this at my next appointment. I'm glad if I can help somebody understand that it's important to at least talk with your doctor. You don't have to do anything right away, but just get that information. So yeah. So what else? I had something else in mind, but I stopped. I was like so enamored with what you were saying, I forgot what I was going to say. I found it fascinating though, because when I was a kid, I'm in high school, that the names that kids would call, I'm sure they do it still. You don't want to be called a slut and all that. And you grew up hearing smut, that word. So again, back to that negative connotation. How do you like to, what words do you like to use to describe the kind of writing that you do in this area?
I mean, I'm fine with smut. They can say fine with that. Monster romance, erotica. I do use erotica a lot. But yeah, I mean, slut doesn't scare me. Okay, it doesn't scare me at all. I have my slut days and I don't regret it. I learned a lot, and it probably shows in my writing. Although there's a lot of things that go on that I never did, but like the sex scenes in Pirates gets, it escalates each chapter.
Well, it's funny.
Especially after now. I think we're on chapter 4. So she just got with Gideon, who's the scholar. So we had that hardcore sex with the captain, and then she had the other two men, and now the scholar, and then from here on out there's you're gonna have to check it out.
Don't spoil it for me.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but definitely it gets more intense.
I would like to tell everybody listening that there are no violent sexual scenes in any of her stories.
I won't write violent sexual scenes.
No, and that's important. I don't think many of us really would want to read that.
It's popular. It's really popular. I mean, the dark fantasy, dark romance. Dark romance is huge.
You're right about that. We have some
shadow daddies and
Mhm. Mhm.
dom, like, broody types. And then yeah, non-consensual stuff is actually highly sought after. Like, there's a huge readership for that. I personally like to write what I want to read,
Yeah, of course.
and I'm not attracted to that. It's not um that's not where I get my fantasy. I am kind of exploring more of the monster romance. So I
Oh,
did
yeah.
read The Milking Farm, which I loved it. I loved it. And now the same author is reading Breeding Clinic right now. So it
Who's the author?
takes place in the same world. This is the author here.
C.M. Nacosta. Okay, got it.
Yeah. She I just got a couple of her books too, but this specific one deals with like infertility, people who've had infertility, and apparently like they have a breeding clinic with like werewolves, and if you see a werewolf like and you breed with them right before the full moon, apparently there's like this really high success rate for pregnancy. It's just brilliant. Like, this author's brilliant. So it's almost like in a modern world, but like a modern world with vampires and werewolves and minotaurs and elves, and they're kind of the minority. So they have their own community. So this is part of
Mhm.
this community. So it's actually, I just think it's brilliant writing. It's not like I'm daydreaming about breeding clinics or milking minotaurs or anything. I just think it's just
Right.
so interesting, and it's great writing. And I find myself finishing the books and going for another one. So whatever that means, I'm learning from it. But as far as my own style of writing, I want to go with older women who have lots of young men who are hot for them, because that's a fantasy that, like, I'm moving into
Yeah.
a different decade. And I've got my mom's not on, usually she's on too. Hey, Cody's here. Hey,
Hi,
Cody,
Cody.
how's it going? But yeah, we've got so much fantasy that even my own main book that I'm working on, The Warden, has a younger protagonist. We have just tons of fantasy with like 18, 19-year-olds. Like, think of Sarah J. Maas with Akatar and Throne of Glass. All of that is 18, 19, chosen one stuff. And I want to see more reverse harem, older woman type of
Mhm.
fantasy plot. So I've got some other stories I'm working on too, with like a male siren, same kind of thing, kind of reverse harem, older. She's not, as old as my crone, but just that idea. That
Yeah.
idea is what's coming in to my story outlines these days. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll get better at it as I go, trying to write these characters.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I'm into it, and so far people have loved it. It's actually, I don't know if it might be too early to say this, but we were going to offer to give away some free months at the restricted wing of the archive. Did you have a strategy behind that, or are we just winging it?
Oh, we're winging that. I don't know. Yeah, it's up to you.
We're winging it.
We're
Yeah,
winging
so
it.
if you are not a paid subscriber to the restricted wing and you would like to read Pirates of the Silver Crown, just drop in an emoji. If you don't want to drop in an emoji because you want to be private about it, just send me a private message.
Yeah.
We'd be giving away 5 free months, or to 5
Five,
people 1
five
month.
people, 1 month. Yeah.
And then the deal I have going on right now with the Warden's Archive and the restricted wing too is, if you sign up for a year, you get my candle boxes, my Warden Archive candle box.
Yay! I get one.
I started to color this in. It's not done yet. And
they smell so good, right?
They smell like leather.
I
Little
can't wait.
vanilla, a little amber. I even put little sparkles in there.
Oh, that's
They're
beautiful.
ridiculously nice, and they come in a box with like a nice box with a bunch of other goodies too. So, and yeah, so when you sign up for a whole year, and I package that up and ship it to you as part of the the gift.
The
So
gift alone is worth it.
totally.
I think it is. And you posted hand making all those candles and doing and pouring
I
them.
know, and
And,
I'm not
oh my
even
gosh,
done. It takes a lot of time.
the
Yeah,
care you put into it, I love it. That's so great. Yeah, I was
yeah,
just
it's
thinking when you were talking about your stories that because they're so good. The sexual arousal and the actions are so good. I'm like, oh my god, she must have an amazing sex life. And I'm not going to ask you to confirm or deny, but you were
I'm fine.
saying.
I'll talk about it. Well, I'll tell you this. Before I met my husband, I was a kinky bitch.
Gee, what a
I
surprise.
was very kinky. And I at the time I was like, I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life. I know it. Like I'm just way too much. Like I am a Tasmanian devil. It is not like it ain't gonna happen. And I met Sal, and like when I met him, and even when we kissed, there was like this electricity. There was like this energy that was like flowing through us. It really felt otherworldly, and we got along so good. Our birthdays are one day apart, and there was just both feel like we're a little sensitive, and we understood that. So it just seemed like our relationship just blossomed. And I think we were about 3 weeks dating. We hadn't slept together yet, which I was like, okay, it was his idea. I being the slut I am would have gone there, but he's like, no, I want to wait. And I was like, all right, let's do that. I can wait. About 3 weeks into it, both of us are just dying at this point. Like we want at each other. And I said, you know what? I need to be upfront with him and kind of tell him like, you know, that I've had this like kinky past and stuff. So I remember we went for a walk and I was so nervous, a big full moon out on the golf course. And I just moved to Vegas, and I rented a house on a golf course. And I told him, and I was expecting him to run, and he was like, he looked at me kind of nervous. Like he was always nervous with me, but like it must have excited him. He's like,
You think?
well, he goes, well, I'm not into all of that stuff, but I guess we'll just figure it out and kind of navigate our way through it. And the fact that he said that like made me feel like he just loves all these parts of me. And so I have been with him ever since, and that was 2017, and he is as vanilla gets. But the love making part of it, like picture just having a really great love making section. It's like very, very good. It's very good. But I've had to beg him for years to spank me. I've had to like one time I tried to get him to play role play and he couldn't stop laughing, and I was like,
How
oh
cute is
God,
that?
can you like come
That's so cute.
on? But
Yeah,
he's
you clearly have fun, and you were saying I heard you say earlier that the things you write are not things that you've done. So
yeah,
that made
like
me
I
think. Well,
haven't
you've
been
done
with
your research
I
on
haven't
different authors who write
Yeah,
erotica.
two guys at one time. Talk. I want to read about that. I don't know if I necessarily would want to experience it. It feels like a lot of players on the field at once.
Right.
I won't go into any of that past, but sex parties and lifestyle stuff is pretty popular, I know, and nowadays. I don't know. I'm not going to call out any states because I think it's pretty much popular everywhere now. And I have in my past been, I guess you call, I was like a unicorn. I dated couples, and so I've been to, I've had that experience as well. And I just don't think Sal and I want that in our, maybe not now in our relationship. It's not something we see. Like I think we find our bond and just who we are really sacred and special.
Mhm.
And so it's cool because now that creative side of me that was just kinky and had all these experiences, and now that person didn't die. Like she hasn't gone away. She just gets to write about it, and it's the same experience mentally. Like if I'm craving a spanking, I can just write a spanking scene and get the same satisfaction from it as I can still feel it. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but it used to be a point where I would tell people if I can even talk about my kinks that I want, I feel satisfied from that. I really do. If someone's sitting there like listening and like taking it in, and
Yeah.
I get to share it.
Yeah.
So to me, writing is that way. Like especially writing erotica. And I probably should start writing more kink and especially the dom women, mistress women, protagonists would be a lot of fun. May I somehow wrap that into fantasy? That could be pretty hot. But yeah,
Well,
that just keeps all that alive. So
I have no doubt you will do all the things because you are so prolific, and when you get ideas, you go for them. I know you're constantly writing. I would like to. The thing I love about the Silver Crone is it's not just like turning on a porn flick. I mean, it's just way deeper than that. So, I'd like to go ahead and read.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
From Pirates of the Silver Crone, the setup is Gideon is the pirate, right? And he and Elaline, is that right?
Yep.
Elaline. That's a beautiful name. I'm sure you thought very hard about renaming her. Gideon's a pirate. Elaline is the crone, the Silver Crone, and they just enjoyed a very passionate, loving, sensual moment. All right. So Gideon turned them so she lay draped across his chest, his fingers tracing soothing patterns down her back. Elleine's tears ebbed, but she didn't pull away. Her cold hands pressed flat against his sternum, taking a little of his warmth. "You're dangerous," she said, voice hoarse. "All of you. I thought I was the one who would ruin you." Gideon kissed the top of her head. "We were already ruined the moment we saw you. This is salvation." With a thread of silver magic, she marked him too, the spiral of Naira rising warm over his heart, bright against his skin. "You are mine now, Raven," she said. "Scholar, seer, the one who understood first." He smiled against her hair. "And you are ours, and you are not a relic to be taken. You are a queen to be worshipped." Outside, the night deepened. Caspian, Magnus, and Corvin would sense a new mark soon enough. But for now, in this small room of ancient texts and new devotion, Elaline let herself be held by a man who had read her story before he ever touched her body. The hollow in her chest was smaller tonight. Love it.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of clapping in the chat. Oh my God.
That's her wound. She has the cold hands, and she has the kind of emptiness inside of like really needing to be chosen, and not just used for the because you'll see later on in the how it unfolds by pleasuring her what unfolds for pirates from that. And so these pirates end up in the story coming into a fork in the road. Like they have a choice. They can be in their riches and spoils and move on to younger women, or they can continue to choose her. So that's another part that comes up in the story. It's again, I wanted to add myth in there. I wanted to add more plot besides just for pirate lovers. But they are sexy, those pirates.
Well, and when she first came onto the ship or was taken and brought into the ship, and of course the interrogation started, about that. So it was looking pretty rough, but she was like, "Let's see if you're worthy of me." She turned the tables, and I just thought, wow, that was brilliant. Unbelievable.
Yeah, she doesn't play none of my. This is her.
Yep, there she is.
Her hottie is right there.
Yeah.
Oh, she's really sexy.
That's a great photo, by the way. She's got a little nipple hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, barely.
It's hot. No, I mean, I photograph women, and I photograph mostly like boudoir, and it's mostly women over 50 and 60. And this is something that I see all the time in Vegas. So there's women nowadays who are, they holding on to that sexy for a long time.
Well, it's a state of mind too, you just, you were talking earlier about menopause where, the weight gain and all that. It seemed like every time I turned, 40, 50, 60, it was a challenge just for whatever reason, that 10-year span. So it's just an adjustment in your in your body and the way you do things and the way you eat, etc. And it's just honest. It's not just that, but it's when you can tell yourself, I got this. I need to do something different, or this isn't going to work for me. And again, we talked about it being a loss. Yeah, I can't eat as much as I mean, I can't eat like a 20-year-old like I wanted to, and I love to eat. So.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you can't get to a point where you gotta watch things that you used to be able to eat. You can't.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
that's totally a reality. If you have an Instagram, I'm gonna give you this influencer, Kim Anami. She's the things I lift with my vagina lady.
Wow.
She's probably, I know she's in her 50s, and she's been known, she kind of got her fame by doing videos of her on the beach, and she would have the yoni egg, which is, a little jade egg with a hole in it. She'd pop it up her vagina, and it'd have some apparatus on it that is like a string that comes out and can hold different weights. And she was holding a surfboard with her vagina.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she has clinics and stuff that she runs all the time, called Well Fucked Women, and she talks about how like you can just fuck your way through menopause and get through, like you won't eat, like the stuff that she talks about is so cutting edge. It's not what you hear in clinical language at all. She's very like matter of fact, very sex positive, but I don't want to use the word sex positive because it's almost magic. Like, and you should hear the testimonies of couples who come into their clinics. Like they're, they come in and they're struggling with certain things, and then they end up just creating sex dates like 2-3 times a week, and their lives are completely changed. Their health changes. So yeah, when it comes to like having good, healthy sex, it's one of the most healthiest things you can do for yourself. And if reading a book about pirates like gets you there, then it's good. It's better than porn. Porn tends to take your mind and
for sure,
in a different direction. Yeah,
I'd say it reawakens those who started to drift off, who didn't know about this lady, who I think is magnificent. She's doing all of this. We need more people, more women like championing other women like this. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. I'm just blown away by that. That's great.
Yeah, she sells the yoni eggs and then teaches the classes too. And I have my own eggs, and whenever I've practiced with them, what happens is like a lot of women who say that they don't like to have sex, and this is, I'm quoting like what I've learned from her, and it's true. She's like, they have numb vaginas. It's like numb. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's true.
If you don't like that, using your pelvic muscles and getting blood flow down there regularly, and using like your pelvic muscle when you're holding weight is building up the walls of your vagina, and you can create muscle movement in there that feels like a hand doing, going up and down. And this should be, she'll say this, Kim will say this, every woman, it should be totally normal for them to put ping pong balls in their vagina and pop them across the room. That should be normal. Now, if you do any of that, even a little bit done badly, your sensation while having intercourse goes through the roof. Even doing a little bit badly, like sensation wise, things wake up down there and suddenly, okay, now I get what the big deal is about. And it really doesn't matter her age either. She talks about that as well. So yeah, that I love her for that reason. She's very like, I mean, some people have probably listened to her podcast and be like, man, this woman sounds like an absolute slut, like coming from what we were talking about. But boy, she teaches some stuff that is, it absolutely works, and it's yeah, it's good. It's good stuff, I'm telling you. So check her out. Definitely get yourself a yoni egg. It's worth it. It's 100% worth it.
I knew about the yoni egg, but I didn't know about her, and yeah, I'm definitely going to pass that on to a lot of my friends who are struggling right now. So with their situations. Yeah, and passing along here. This is this. I knew this would be somewhat of a public service, but you just knocked it out of the park with this gal, and also just with your stories. And so they are very good. You are an amazing writer. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to help a lot of women and men get things going. You know, like males go through menopause too. They get kind of, for lack of a better word, they get crabby. I hate to say it like that, but they get that. So they have like irritation and things like that. But that's when they're in their late, like their 60s and stuff like that. So don't worry, everybody who's watching.
We got some guys in here that are in their 60s.
I know, they're like, oh my God.
I would say the majority of my readers who really enjoy my my writing and keep coming back are in their 60s and 70s.
Nice. That's great.
I don't know why that is, but what's that?
I hope you get more feedback. Are you talking about the behind the closed doors stuff?
No,
anything you have. Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of my slow burn romance is the two that I have out there now, Bound by a Dormant and The Classifier.
Yeah.
The readers who really get into it are older readers. They just very immersive. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I think what you're so good at as well is the tension, the sexual tension. It's so good. You write that so well. Every time I read something you've written where I just want them to, like, gosh, do it, please. You know, it's amazing. You're very good at holding the tension. What can I ask? Can I pick your brain about that for those who are writers who would like to learn more about that? Just what is it that you do, or do you have any concept of that, or just kind of flow with it and it just happens?
Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of a formula to it. I think I've shared it with a few of you guys before, but you know, you have to have a proximity. You need to have some kind of proximity, but also each character needs a reason why they can't or shouldn't, or you know, so there's chemistry, and then there's usually some kind of like relationship wise, a guard and a princess, or
yes,
you know, things like that, where Warden, in my case, an anomaly. Like there's some restrictions there which would make it inappropriate, and there's different ways to that's just one formula. There's many other formulas to it, and then there's got to be those little moments, like the moment that his finger, you know, he's grabbing her hand and he just like does one of these, like when you write that, oh my God, readers are melting in place. Like it's those tiny micro movements, it's the little hitch in the breath, it's the he held his hand on her hip like 1 second too long, because in real life, like, we're paying attention to those tiny little micro movements, especially when it's somebody that we're attracted to. And so that builds up over time. And then, typically I think in my slow burn, it's got to be earned. And so there's usually some kind of fracture or something. And then finally, and it's been easier to write when it's 7-8 chapters long. The Warden is right now sitting at 194,000 words, and they haven't kissed yet. So the second book is amazing. The second book is really, really, really good. We get to a lot of that, but the first book, there's a lot of tension. So there's several different ways to write it, but that's kind of how I like to do it. I don't like the grabby guys or forcing, or not my well,
that's
style.
Not fun for a lot of women, but like you were saying earlier, there's something for everybody. And I definitely want to make sure I don't discount any of that. I've read some people in our Discord write some of the monster smut, and it's
really popular.
Intense, actually.
There's tons of readers for it. They like the intensity. They like that it's, safe on the page, and they can they can imagine something like that being sexy. And a lot of times it is readers who have had sexual trauma, and they can like almost heal through something like that. Like,
I was just going to say that.
I haven't been through that, so I don't really know how to speak to that, but I've heard feedback like, yeah, this, it helped me. Like, it helped me metabolize my own trauma. And
Yeah.
so I have nothing against writers who write like that. I don't. I like to write,
Same.
again, what I want to read, what I want to see, what I want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, like, reading a rape scene would be really destructive for me. I'm pretty sensitive, and I don't want to put that in my system. So
yeah,
what I read, I'm not like, now I read all kinds of stuff just for that purpose. Like, let's see, let's read some horror once in a while. Let's read some dark fantasy once in a while. I learned things about how to tell a story by expanding my world. But just as like my regular stuff that I read on a day-to-day basis, it's just not my cup of tea. But that's just me.
Well, you could be more true. It's true about the healing and the cathartic capacity of taking control in that way of writing. It's because I have spoken with women who've been assaulted, and they will do something that takes the control back immediately. And so this is possibly one way. I can't speak to it because it's not my experience either. But yeah, you can. I'm glad it heals. I think stories do heal. That's why I call it stories that heal.
Yeah.
CNC, what is that? It's a big thing for some who've been through that. I'm not sure.
I think it has something to do with non-consent.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That
I don't
makes
know what
sense.
the first C means, but I think it's non-consent stuff. And Cody actually has played around with some of that a little bit, I think. So he'd be a good one to consensual non-consent.
And then Nadine says essay is off screen for a reason. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Not consent. Thank you. Yeah. There's something for everybody. And I can say that your pirate stories are very fun. I enjoy them. Yeah. I'm enamored with your writing and you expanding all your repertoire. And we look forward to more from you.
I'm glad you like it. Anybody else, if you guys want to get a month access to the restricted wing, just send me a message, and yeah, I'll give you access for a month, which will get you you'll get 1 through 4, 5's coming this week, and then a chapter every week for another month. So, and how many chapters is it, you ask? Let me see.
I don't know.
I do.
Well, I don't. You do. None of us know.
I have to go look at drafts.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of speed reading.
There's 17 chapters.
Oh my! Of the Silver Crone.
Yeah, there's 17.
Holy
chapters
moly!
And an epilogue.
Oh no! You tease us, and then we're gonna have to pay for the rest. Well, darn it!
Sign up for the year. Get the free candle box.
Honestly, yeah, it's so worth it. It's so worth it, everybody. So if you haven't checked out Elle Abbott, please do at the Warden's Archive on her other, and then she's got the Warden's Restricted. So, but it's all channels into the Warden's Archive, which is really nice. So, you guys have any questions while we kind of shout people out? Have Letharius Archives. Michael Conlon just joined. Tales from Sphera, our buddy Cody. We just love you so much. E.L. Frederick, another one of our buds from Discord. Stanley B. Trice. That's about
Stanley B.
Yeah.
Stanley is kind of, I think he subscribes to us. Anyway, what do you guys think? You have any questions? Do you like to read do you like to read this content?
They like to write it, maybe.
Do you like to write it? Does anybody else write erotica here?
Quiet on our chat now. Everyone quiet. Well,
erotica is really big on Substack. In fact, if you go to like top 100 in fiction, you're always going to see erotica writers just dominating in there. They're constantly on that list, especially gay, homosexual, LGBTQ. Erotica is really huge right now. I always see it. So,
Cody's taking a crack at it soon, and Nadine says she loves reading it. That's awesome.
Nice.
before we went on live, Elle and I were talking about how they've got the erotica, all this, the things that we write on basically in a video. So, you know, you just download the video and watch the erotica there too. But I'm not sure.
I've been thinking for years now about writing a book, like, you know, how to be a dominatrix, but I think it'd be so much more fun to write it as fiction, because I could take a protagonist that was like, you know, she's a man hater, she's had issues with men,
Yeah,
she's not, you know, like I know that archetype, I just know that archetype, and she wants to take her power back, and kind of goes into the whole dominatrix thing, and actually finds that through doing that experience, that it becomes very healing for her and for the men who submit to her. I'm dying. I should probably write that. It's not really a fantasy story, but I think it would be good. As far as like content for the restricted wing, I'm gonna keep it coming. I'll have another story after Pirates, and there'll be a chapter in there every week. So
we got a quick question. Okay, we'll wait for you, Cody.
Hurry up, type it. Just kidding. I guess they're all different levels of erotica.
There it is. Go ahead, Elle. You want to read it?
What would be your advice for writers who maybe want to write romance erotica but are kind of afraid of how readers might perceive them? Just change your pen name. Like I said, I put it in a restricted wing, so it's separate from, you know, my other content. And then if and when I ever publish any of my erotica, it'll be under a different pen name. I think my pen name for erotica I'm going with will be Sable Wilder.
I love that.
And of course I'll let people know when that happens, because I want to have some like launch parties and get you guys on Zooms and do giveaways and stuff like that, so I can increase my sales. But I'm probably a year or two away from publishing any erotica books. I have some other, just my slow burn stuff I want to get out there. But yeah, I'd say just write it, and you don't have to put it out there on Substack. If you want to put it out there on Substack, you can, like I said, just start another account, and you can start another account that isn't connected to your current one, and you can just use a different pen name, or you can share it with your friends in Discord. But yeah, I think it's good for writers anyway these days. Like if you're writing different genres, to separate pen names. I don't know if that's was a thing in the past, but I know that's good now for just branding and marketing purposes. Because your readers, Cody, your readers, nobody's going to read romance and erotica who does not want to read romance and erotica. So that's what I mean. If you right now, you're all dark fantasy, and every single reader that you have is like, they only hang out. Like, you think about it, all the Discord group that you and I have created is dark fantasy, but I write like cozy and slow burn. I don't write dark, but yet y'all are my friends. Y'all like me. Y'all read my funny stuff. So, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's the other, you're going to put it out there, and somebody who likes that content is going to read it. So you don't really have to worry about that too much, I don't think. Does that make sense?
Just go for it.
I feel like I'm not articulating very well today.
You're doing great. I'm just saying, I'm encouraging him to go for it and see what happens, you know?
Yeah. I would just say, because you're, you know, specifically writing dark fantasy, you also, Project Abracadabra is mostly dark fantasy of what you've read. You did a little bit of Linda sci-fi and my parody, but it's, you know, I think the majority of it's been dark. So yeah, just sneak it out there in another way. And it works really well if you're sharing on Substack to just start another profile and say exactly what it is. This is romance erotica, and put it out there. So yeah, contribute to the restricted wing. Wink, wink.
Good try. Good try, y'all. I think she's got it figured out. That's fun. I like your launch party idea and all the things. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
well, I gotta write part 2 of Bound by a Dormant and the Classifier. And that okay, both stories were only supposed to show readers how I write, what the slow burn looks like, give them a little taste of Ethara. And the problem is what I learned in writing romance is like you kind of have to have a happy ending. Like you need these two people like together at the end somehow. Like they go through all this crap, but then otherwise romance readers they say it's a tragedy. Like otherwise it's tragic. So I cut these both stories off. Like I just left it hanging. And all my readers are like, okay, what's gonna happen? Like we need to see Ren and Zara, like we need to see that resolve. We need to see Maricel and Lorian. Like, we need to see all that resolve. So, all right, guess what I'm doing in the next couple months? I'm writing part 2 to both stories, which will then be novels that I'll put out before the Warden. And then, yeah, I want to reach out to all you guys, have a Zoom launch party. I'll probably have like giveaway stuff. I think here in Vegas, I have access to an auction where I can buy like little mini vacations. I get because they have so many like timeshares and stuff here and they get overstocked, so you can buy them at the auctions. I'll have to find out if I can transfer it, and if I can, it'll be great because I can get people on and say, hey, I got 3 days in Hawaii, all paid inclusive. You just pay for the flight, and kind of give away candle boxes or even like bookmark stickers, whatever, free books. And get as many people on as I
Hawaii
can.
versus the candles.
Well, there's got to be a grand prize.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to give away like 5 trips to Hawaii or something. Just so like 10 people can go buy my ebook. I mean, no, I want to get as many people as I can on, and like maybe do it like weekly and get my ebook sales up and get paperbacks sold. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't have quite enough people yet to get that going, and I'm still not finished with any of my books.
There's
So
always next year. I mean, I think we're all growing in our Substacks, which is I just love Substack so much. I love the people we've met and I've met. It's this opportunity to lift you up and hear everybody's comments. So I'm excited about all the future stuff here.
and you know what, Cody said he wants to narrate Adam and Eve. I'm gonna just share that story with you guys right now for whoever's on.
Okay.
Because that one is 100% free. And I'm going to copy the link and share it with you guys. And Cody narrating this would be so awesome.
That's great.
Awesome. So this will give you, this one's, I don't know, it's erotica, but it's more parody than erotica. Go check out the restricted wing. You do get to read every chapter up until it gets explicit, so you can get a taste for the story. And then if you want a free month, just message me. If you go ahead and buy a whole year, you'll get the candle kit. So that's it. Yeah, I'm hoping to get over 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So I really want subscribers who are readers too. I'm not like chasing down the do everything for subscribers kind of mentality. I want to find people who really like what I'm writing and are gonna be buying ebooks next year.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a whole nother hour, which we're not about, chasing the numbers and fretting about subs and all that. I think just I've decided I'm excited about the ones I have. I just want to say that I'm just want to focus on putting the good content out, and then the slow trickle of subscribers I'm super, super grateful for. I'm just having a ball. I don't profess to be this great writer. I really don't. I just started after a career of doing other things, being in the health profession, and I'm just having fun seeing what it's like to be a writer and learning from all of you, certainly learning from you, Al, the way you write, the way you bring stories to life. It's just amazing. So
oh, thank you. It feels really good. I've been reading so many other books lately this past week, and it's hard not to get into that comparison mind because I've been feeling that lately. I've been feeling like, man, her dialogue is so good. Wow, she's really like so good at spectacle, so good at like high stakes, and how are these characters going to get out of this situation, and blood and crate. And I don't write like that, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, but you shouldn't do that. You should never
Right.
compare.
No, it's an
Right.
inspiration. For me, it's like school. Like everybody on Discord, I read their stuff and then I'm like, wow, I learned a really cool way to say that. So it's like an academy.
Yeah,
Substance Academy
yeah,
for me.
it
And
is.
yeah, it
And
is.
yet we still have our own style, so it's great. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
thank you so much,
All
Linda,
right.
for having me on. I'm so glad you
You're
like the
welcome.
pirates, and yeah, thank you for everyone who's watched today, and yeah, see you on the other side.
All right. See you guys later. Bye,
All
everybody.
right,
Thanks for
bye,
coming.
Linda. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, sweetheart. You're welcome. My pleasure.
Have a good day. Have fun at the pool. All
Thank you. Bye,
right,
everybody.
bye.